What job should I do? When it comes to your career and perhaps even your life, this is the first and most important question you need to answer. However, you may be surprised to know that most people go through their entire working life without even attempting to find an answer. You will notice that this question is not asking, what job could I do? It's asking, what job should I do? Pretty much all the career advice that you get is dealing with the question, what job could I do? Career coaching starts with questions about your education. This is very, very typical. What subjects have you studied? What subjects were you good at? What subjects did you get good grades in? You get the idea. And if you're working with a coach, whether it's a formal career coach or an informal career coach, perhaps a teacher, a parent, a friend, or something like that, then of course they're going to ask you about your secondary education, and they'll probably do the same for your tertiary education, if you have a tertiary education. And if you've been working for a while, then they may ask you about your skills. What have you done? What are you good at? What skills are marketable, i.e., who's interested in hiring people for those skills? And finally, career coaches will go on and ask about your work experience. What work have you done? What responsibilities have you had? Now, if you've looked at these questions and you've followed us so far, you might be starting to see the problem. What if none of the subjects made available to you at high school were of any interest to you? Now, most high schools maybe only carry at a higher level when you move into the final stages. You maybe only get to choose between 10 or a dozen subjects in total. It's not very much when you think about the vast knowledge of interest that's available in the world. Boiled down to 10 subjects, it's very, very narrow. And that very narrow spectrum just may have had little interest for you. And maybe you were smart. What a terrible curse that would be, because then, therefore, if you're smart, you see, you can get good grades, even in subjects that you don't care about, you don't like, and you don't even spend time studying. You can still get good grades. And what if the course you picked at university or college was more to please your parents than because you loved the subject? This is something very, very common. Most teenagers, when they're off to university, they don't really know what they want to do, and quite often it's just to get the parents off their back. Or maybe you picked a course without knowing very much about it at all, but just because you couldn't figure out what else to do, you thought, well, I can't think of anything else, this is what I'll do. That, again, probably makes up more than half of the students at university. And then maybe if we move beyond education, we look at your actual work. Maybe, what if you took the wrong job from the very outset, but you get stuck in that rut? It paid the bills and you stuck with it, and changing into something else is very difficult. So you just kept doing it, and you kept doing it, and you kept doing it. Now, none of the traditional approaches to career coaching will deal with the question, as you can see in what we've covered in this video, none of them deal with, what job should I do? To answer this question properly, you have to take a very different approach. You have to look inside, not behind you. And all of the career coaching that we've discussed and illustrated in this short video is all about looking behind you. Where have you been? And therefore, where are you going? But when you're looking at what job should I do, you have to go more, has to be a more fundamental change. You have to go deep, and you have to dare to imagine things that you always, maybe, perhaps, have been afraid to imagine. If you really want to know the answer, what job should I do? You should sign up for the free training and free personality report on this page. Sign up for this course, sign up for the training and the free report. It will help you to go deep and look inside, rather than simply look to where you've been.